Spring is finally here, and honestly, it feels like the perfect time for a reset. A fresh start, a time to really get myself together before summer officially starts. For me, this season is all about stepping into my best self, physically, mentally, emotionally, and even in the way that I take care of my space and my routines. So today I'm taking you through my spring reset for 2025 and everything I'm doing to be happy, free, confident, healthy, and fully aligned before summer. And if you want to do this too, grab a coffee, grab your favorite drink, light a candle, and let's get into it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah and I make content all about self-development, lifestyle, wellness, and all in all just becoming the best version of yourself. So if you're into that, definitely make sure you subscribe for more content. Okay, first and foremost, remember all of those January resolutions that we made about becoming our best selves, whatever goals that you had in mind? It's time to ask yourself, now that we're 3 months into the year and we're 25% of the way through, how are they actually going? Spring is just the perfect time to check in with yourself, realign yourself with your goals if you haven't been doing your best so far. Because to be honest, at the start of the year, January, it feels like a proper fresh start. At the start of the year, we have so much motivation, but it seems like once it gets to like end of February, March, April, just around this time, you tend to fall off. Life happens, you get behind, you start making excuses, and some of the goals just get left behind in the process. But honestly, there's no need to beat yourself up about it. It's just time to recoup and recommit to those goals. So here's what I'm doing to get back on track. Number one is I'm revisiting my January goals. I'm looking at what I actually wanted to accomplish this year and just being honest with myself about what I've actually followed through on so far. And from that, I'm identifying what's still important. You might not necessarily still align perhaps with the goals that you had at the start of the year. After 3 months, things can change, and that's fine. So I'm going to focus on what excites me, what's serving me, and what makes sense. And from those goals that are still relevant, that I still want to do and pursue, I'm going to make more small actionable steps instead of overwhelming myself with huge changes. It's best to break things down into tiny, consistent habits that you're just a lot more likely to stick to. For example, I've talked about waking up early, like at 5 a.m. For example, if you've wanted to do that, but you're not at 5 a.m. yet, don't just say tomorrow I'm going to start waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's work our way towards that slowly. Let's start going to bed 15 minutes earlier every day and waking up 15 minutes earlier every day until you get to that goal. Also, I'm using visual reminders. So maybe take a look at your vision board, and if there are any goals there that don't align with you anymore, just like rejig them, like take them off, stick in some new photos that make a bit more sense for you at this time. I'm definitely going to be having a look at my vision board. I have it as my screensaver on my laptop, and I work on my laptop every day, every morning. So it's pretty much the first thing that I see. So I'm going to be having a look at that. Maybe I've even hit some of those goals, so I can now like climb myself up a ladder. One thing for me is I really wanted to at least get like 1,000 followers within the first couple months of the year. So now that I've hit that, I'm on to the next milestone. Like, I'm ready to do 10k. I find that if you don't have visual reminders of what you want to do, whether it's sticky notes or a vision board, it's sort of like out of sight, out of mind. You know, if you're not constantly seeing it, if you're not being able to constantly remind yourself with those visual cues, you're more likely to forget it and go off track. But we're not letting that happen. So if you've been slacking on your goals, this is time to really reconnect with yourself, check in with yourself, adjust where needed, and just move forward with some fresh energy. Remember, it's never too late to start again. Don't start thinking, oh, next year I'll do it, because that's absolutely insane. We're only 25% into the year. We still have 75% left to go. So don't go abandoning your goals now. If you haven't started something that you really wanted to start, now is the perfect time. Any day is the perfect time. Small habits lead to big results, and by summer you'll be really thanking yourself that you started doing these things now, and you'll be so grateful that you didn't give up. So let me know in the comments, is there a goal that you're going to try and bring back this season? You've kind of fallen off something, or maybe you've ticked something off the list and now it's on to the next. Let me know in the comments. Let's share, let's engage. Next is very inevitable, but it's time for the spring cleaning and the decluttering. And I don't just mean your physical space. I genuinely believe that a cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. Here's what I'm going to focus on. Number one is a closet refresh. A good helpful rule of thumb is if you haven't worn it in a year, it should probably go, okay? Because in a year you've had all of the 4 seasons. If you haven't put it on your body once, it's probably time you let that item go, give it to charity, sell it online. It doesn't need to be in your wardrobe anymore. We want to feel light and fresh, and I feel that now that spring is starting, I think it's about time we put our jumpers and like big thick sweaters in the back of our wardrobe. Start bringing your spring clothes to the forefront. Second thing that I'm doing is a deep spring clean. The outside of my flat, if you go into my flat, it's very clean, but the inside of my cupboards, like my pantry, could desperately needs desperately needs decluttering. There's definitely some stuff in there that's probably past its use by date and I need to just throw it away. I need to just wipe it down. Time to even get in the fridge, wipe that down too, flip over the mattress, dusting, wiping down all my surfaces, and just making my space feel brand new again. And number 3 is a digital declutter. So that's deleting old emails, going through my camera roll over the past year or so, or whatever's relevant for you, and just deleting what doesn't need to be there. As well, I'm just organizing my desktop because my laptop is relatively new and I don't want it to get to the point where I have a million different folders. Now is like a really good time, 3 months after having it, is to just go in, make sure that everything is in folders where it needs to be there, so it's just much easier for me to find things. Remember, clean space, clean mind. Now chapter 3 is my favorite and I find this the most fun, kind of, but it's just the health and wellness reset. It's the perfect time to just refresh my wellness habits, especially as we move into summer. So here's what I'm focusing on. So I'm moving my body 5 times a week. That includes like 2 strength training sessions, Pilates, and getting my steps in. I really like that routine because it's just very balanced. I'm not overcomplicating it. I'm just focusing on consistency, staying strong, and moving my body. The second thing that I'm doing, of course, is nourishing my body. I like to stick to an 80-20 diet. So that's 80% whole foods, foods that I'm making myself at home, and 20% of, you know, the takeaways, the pizzas, the burgers, chocolate snacks, all that good stuff that we inevitably crave. So I don't do any crazy diet. I'm just going to be, and I have been, very intentional with my meals. That means more protein, more fiber, more greens, drinking at least 2 liters of water a day. And obviously I like a good protein shake. I made it in my last vlog and it's just too good. I post at least one or two what I eat in a day on my TikTok and my Instagram, and I usually post like a recipe like once a week. Make sure to check those out if you want any meal inspo. There's so many people that do really good meal inspo. And also just go on Pinterest and you can just find inspiration for different things to make. Okay, next chapter is habits that I'm just recommitting to. Number 1 is journaling. I made it my goal in March to journal every single day, which I did. I'm really proud that I did that because it was just something that I was falling off from a little bit. I highly recommend journaling, even if it's just writing out a few sentences a day, because it really just helps you identify any patterns where you're going really well and where maybe you're not going so well, where maybe you're procrastinating. Sometimes I'll be writing in my journal and then 2 weeks later I'm still talking about doing this thing, and it just makes me look inwards and think, why haven't I done this yet? Okay, I'm definitely procrastinating in this area. Let's focus on that. Let me make sure I book that this week, or let me make sure I declutter this week if I've been talking about doing that, or that's been sort of on my to-do list for the past couple weeks. So yeah, I highly recommend journaling. Number 2 is reading before bed. I've been doing this for years and I cannot tell you enough how good it is. It's just really good to get your eyes away from a screen, get your eyes away from any sort of social media or anything that you're consuming, and it just kind of helps just like lower your thoughts. Like you don't think as much. If you're reading fiction, you're just thinking about the story that you're reading. If you're reading non-fiction, then you're just taking in like new educational content that benefits you. Whether it's fiction or non-fiction, it's just really good to kind of switch your brain off from the rest of the day and to just think and just delve yourself into that book. That's why I love fiction, because I used to read sort of non-fiction self-help books before bed, and I don't not recommend that. You can do that if you want to, but I find that by reading fiction you just don't think about your life so much. Like I'm so heavily focused on my goals that I'm low-key obsessed with them. So I find that if I read self-development, I'll just start thinking about my goals all over again, which it's not bad, but it's just nice to just kind of take a step back, not think about what's kind of, you know, what do I want to do next kind of thing, and I'm just able to focus on the story and the book that I'm reading. If you're someone who really overthinks about what's going on in your life, I would highly recommend reading fiction books, because then you're really just able to take a break from your thoughts. Number 3 is sunlight and fresh air every morning. It literally changes my mood. I know that there are scientific benefits to getting outside in the morning, and if you are, I know it might not work if you're in a city as much, but even taking like the scenic route, taking a walk through the park and nature, it just like puts you in a really good mood, and I feel like it's just the perfect time. Spring is here, flowers are growing now, leaves are growing on the trees, and the sun is rising earlier, the sun is setting later. Now I can start walking to the gym at 6 AM. Now I'm able to even get more steps in, so there's literally no excuse to not be getting your steps in. And the last habit that I'm recommitting to is just less time on my phone. Because I create content, I tend tend to sort of post and then I just start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then like 40 minutes have passed or like an hour has passed, and I'm like, where did that time go? So I'm really trying to focus on being more present. And the really good thing about this is on most smartphones you can set yourself screen time limits anyway. I'm definitely leaning more into that because I thought I had it under control. I clearly do not, so I need to use that. Chapter 5 is beauty and self-care reset. I know I'm not just speaking for myself, probably, hopefully, but I definitely have gone through a case of the winter uglies. Yes. Yeah, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. My hair has like grown out. Like, I'm ginger at the top, but you probably wouldn't even be able to tell that by now. So within the next couple weeks, this weekend, I'm re-dyeing my hair because I've really kind of neglected that. And I just love doing things with my hair because when your hair just looks good, it doesn't matter what else is going on. Like, your fashion sense can be pretty poor, but if your hair looks good, then you're fine. Along with my hair, I'm also thinking about my nails too. I recently took off my nails because they were just so damaged, and I'm trying to get them back to a healthy state. So I've literally just bought myself some cuticle oil. I've been filing my nails every day so that it's really nice, and when summer comes I can go back to putting some like nice colors and stuff on top. Number 2 for me is a skincare refresh. I've recently just done an online order of some of the skincare that I've had that's been running out. If you've been using something like SPF 20 or SPF 30, it's probably time to up that to 50 now that we're heading towards spring and summer. Just all in all, switching to lighter, more hydrating products, because in winter I tend to go really like kind of heavy with the cream and the serums just because my skin just gets dehydrated. So now it's time to switch over to more lighter product, and it's really nice because this time of year it really is less is more. If I layer too many products on during this time of year, I just look oily. So it's time to dial back on all of the skincare products that I'm using and just go back to basics. And last but not least is new fragrance energy. I love having a different fragrance for like autumn, winter, and a different one for spring, summer. I'm not in my flat at the moment, otherwise I'd show you my perfume, but I really love Burberry Her for spring and summer. It's just fruity, it's light, it's very girly. I just love it. It's such a good fragrance. So I've been using my autumn winter one from Memo Paris, which I love. It's gorgeous, but that's definitely not a spring summer scent. So it's time to just put that one back, and I'll go back to that in September. Honestly, nothing makes me feel more refreshed than switching up my self-care routine for a new season. And honestly, just taking care of yourself in general is a form of self-respect. So let's get on that. You don't need to do anything big and dramatic, but I know that I even need a trim. So even if it's going to the hair salon or getting a family member to do it and like just giving yourself a trim, or, you know, investing in a couple of face masks. Chapter 6, last but not least, is just a mindset refresh and manifesting my best self. I'm definitely starting to get more into visualization, making sure that I'm expressing gratitude every day. And it's not just about saying that I want something, it's just fully embodying that energy of my highest self and being the version of me that already has it. Every morning I'm speaking my affirmations like it's facts, and I'm moving with certainty. I'm removing fear, I'm removing doubt, because at the end of the day that's not doing anything for me. It's not doing anything for us to focus on the worst case scenario. Like I've said, it's not I want to be confident, it's I am confident, and not I hope I get this opportunity or I hope I get these opportunities. It's opportunities are flowing to me effortlessly. And I'm gonna do a separate little video on this, but I feel like ever since I've been doing that, opportunities literally have been falling into my lap that I haven't reached out, I haven't asked for them, it's come over to me in a very natural way. And visualization is just a game changer, because I'm able to just close my eyes and envision what, again, the highest version of me would do, and how would she feel when she wakes up in the morning. And just starting my day like that immediately makes me feel good, and it just puts me in the right mindset to start the day. I just feel like once your mind believes it, your actions will follow, and you will start doing the things that your highest self would do. The second thing for me is just consuming positive content. The content that we consume shapes our mindset more than we realize. I've stopped mindlessly scrolling and really being intentional about what I want to see. I'm using a lot more of the not interested feature in my TikTok. Like, if I see something that's just, it doesn't align with me, I don't want to be on that kind of toxic topic of conversation, I make sure to click not interested. I make sure to click suggest less, because I don't want to see any of that. It's not serving me, so I don't want to see it on my feed. So I make sure to listen to podcasts that inspire me, that uplift me, and I like to listen to fun podcasts too if I just want want to like laugh and I want to listen to a comedy podcast, that's good for me too. That's just good energy all in all. And lastly, just romanticizing my growth and making the process, making the journey fun and lighthearted. We need to start making the journey feel just as good as the destination. So I'm bringing more pleasure, more softness and more joy into my life and into my daily routines. I make my morning routines feel luxurious by playing music. If I'm gonna be at home for a few hours, then I'll put like my fragrance oil on, so my flat is just smelling really nice. I'm going to nice coffee shops. I'm making my workspace cute, buying myself fresh flowers, and I'm rewarding myself for the small wins instead of waiting until I have this, waiting until I look like that. Reward yourself for those little baby steps that you're making right now. If you're being successful in any area of your life, reward yourself for that and give yourself a pat on the back, because not everyone else is doing it. Just enjoy the process. Your dream life starts whenever you want it to start. Think of your life like a book. Think of your life like a movie, and you'll start treating it like it is. You'll sit up straighter, you'll walk taller. It's just a vibe. Okay, we've reached the end of the video, so these are my little closing thoughts. This season is all about alignment, about choosing to show up every day as the version of me who already has everything that she desires. Success isn't just about working harder, it's about thinking differently, moving differently, believing differently. So if you're with me on this glow up journey, make sure to drop any flower emoji in the comment, and or let me know what difference at all are you trying to make for yourself as we go into this new season. Let's step into our best selves together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.